The emergency was over, and John was on his way back to Beacon until news hit him on his scroll. A message from the headmaster as Team RWBY and PNR along with Oblek went missing during their assignment. That got John to worry about his new friends as he checked in. It seems like their last known location was the abandoned city of Mt. Glen. He then asked for authorization to investigate the ruins of the city with an intent of a search and rescue. The Ministry of Truth all deliberate, and recent reports of activity around said mountain is a cause for concern, as there should be no life there. But with their recent string of accomplishments, this was one they could allow their best divers to handle. Whatever it is that's moving in Mt. Glen must be taken into account. They give the green light as John assembled the divers under High S command and his war buddies. For now, dropping in is not advisable, as John had a bad feeling about the current situation. He opted for a drop by Pelican. The Helldivers prep for their operation. John, begin jamming signals. Pelican 1 pilot, sir. He activates a switch, as their ships, now not detectable by any radar for miles. Pilot, we are undetected. John, gun it. Pilot, sir. He proceeds to speed up towards their drop zone. Once they reached their destination, the Helldivers disembarked the Pelican and began the operation. John looked around and saw signs of a massive battle, multiple destroyed ruins, a massive amount of bullet holes, explosion marks judging by it was mag-hilled, and many more battle scars were visible. He then scanned for any vitals. John, multiple life signs, a couple in the rubble. Helldiver 1, sir, as he rushes to clear it and rescue anyone under it. John, another up in the tower. Helldiver 2, sir, as he activates his jump pack to check a ruined tower for a survivor. John, everyone else with me move. They all followed John into the maw of Mt. Glen. Flashback. 3 days before the events in Mistral. Beacon launch pad. Ruby, this mission is going to be so awesome. Weiss, to think we'll be fighting alongside Team JNPR. Then, speaking of whom, Team PNR arrived as a member short. Young. Hey, where's Handsome? Pyrrha. He had an emergency and had to leave. He'll be back. Blake narrowed her eyes as to why now of all times. Weiss. Seems like you'll have to step up for a bit. But I can't deny that he was tactically sound during initiation and during sparring sessions. Nora, fearless leader will get me a souvenir. Ren, only if you're good. Yang. Heh, reminds me of how I had to deal with Ruby. Ruby, H-E-Y. Then Oblek arrived and ushered them in the bullhead. Weiss. Sir, what's this mission about? Oblek, a simple observation and investigation, Miss Schnee. Nora, boring. Oblek, the pursuit of knowledge is never boring, Miss Valkyrie. It is the cornerstone of blah 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 blah. He kept going until he got his point across. Once they arrived at the designated drop site, teams RWBY and PNR made quick work of the surrounding grim. Nora, that was easy. Ruby's backpack starts barking, causing everyone to look at the little Red Riding Hood. Young Ruby, what was that? Ruby, nothing. She then grabs her and picks her up and opens her backpack to reveal a little corgi. Blake, hiss. Weiss. Who's this little cutie? Nora. Can I pet him? Can I? Ren was just doing his job, and looking out as Pyrrha felt something was wrong. Oblek. Dog are well-known trackers. This might help with our investigations. They rummaged through the ruins, and they found nothing but death and destruction. As they go deeper into the fallen city, they noticed there was no Grim to be seen. Pyrrha took the high ground to provide overwatch as the team progressed. Oblek noticed there were structures hidden beneath the ruins, and judging by the tools he bought with him, it seems like the carbon dating of the structures were centuries old, or even more than that. He wiped away the dust on the structure's plate, and a logo was seen. Before he could even gather his thought, Pyrrha screamed a warning until she was blasted on the tower she was taking cover in. She was buried by debris as Nora and Rin rushed to her aid until Pyrrha's attacker appeared.
And it was
the bane of my existence. Nora hits it with a couple of grenades, but with Dust's weaker stopping power, it was only able to peel a few cm of steel from the Devastator's armor. It locks onto them and launched a barrage of rockets in which Rin shoved Nora out of the way and shielded her, and for the rockets to hit the wall and cause a collapse, in which buried both Rin and Nora. Team RWBY were in shock and retaliated only for more mechanical monstrosities to appear as the whole are sprung to life. Ruby, Ariane, Nora, Pyrrha, Oblek, Miss Rose, calm down. I have a tracker for our vitals, they're okay, but we have to deal with whatever these machines are. Blake, are these things made by Atlas? Weiss, not from what I know. These things are news to me. Yang, whatever they are, we'll just test them apart. Yang charged, and was able to take down the smaller ones as she breaks through their lines. The Devastators started to grow in number as Weiss destroyed a few of them by freezing them and causing their circuits to fail. Ruby saw that hitting them in the head are their weakness and started sniping them. She was then caught by surprise as they began firing beam weapons, causing her to just geek out for a millisecond as more heavily armed Devastators like Heavy arrived in response to their effectiveness. Blaken did hit and run tactics, taking advantage of the machine's clunky mobility. Yang was having fun breaking these rust buckets until something hit her so hard it launched her into Weiss. And they were met with an intimidating figure. I fucking hate these guys. Blake. What in the hell is that? She opened fire as her rounds just laughably bounces off like BBs, causing it to show her its flamethrower, causing her to back off. Weiss, this is not what I expected going into this mission. Oblek. Neither did I, Ms. Schnee, but we must withdraw. The enemy is much more stronger than us, and we need to change tactics. Everyone fall back. Team RWBY was forced back into the cave as the automatons were closing in. Flashback end. The Helldivers were able to get Pyrrha, Nora, and Rin out of the rubble and gave them medical attention. John and the rest were going in deep to save the rest of Team RWBY. It seems like Super Earth has a new enemy.